Hi, good morning, namaskar, namaste, vanakkam. I am Sujit. This is my YouTube channel Physics 2020. This channel has been started with the notion of presenting various physics concepts as well as the problem solving techniques for various competitive examinations like NEET, JEE Mains, AIMS and for various board exams also. Today we start with 11th physics, the chapter motion in a straight line. In this video we will discuss what is rest and motion, what are the different types of motion, and finally distance and displacement. In the next video we will cover the sums related to distance and displacement. So once again I welcome you all to my YouTube channel Physics 2020. We start with the chapter motion in a straight line. Motion in a straight line. Straight line. Okay. As we know that each and every object around us may be at rest or at motion. Okay. Maybe at rest or at motion. What is the branch of physics which deals with the conditions for this rest and motion? Yes, it is mechanics. 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 Mechanics is a branch of physics that deals with the conditions for rest and motion. This mechanics is classified into two branches. One is statics. Statics. And another one is kinematics or dynamics. Dynamics. Statics is a branch of mechanics. Statics is a branch of mechanics which deals with the conditions for rest or equilibrium. Equilibrium. So kinematics is the branch of mechanics which deals with the conditions for motion. This also, dynamics is also the branch of mechanics which deals with the conditions for motion. So here, the cause of the motion is not considered. In kinematics, the cause of the motion is not considered. Cause of the motion in the sense, yes, force is not considered here. Okay. In dynamics, cause of the motion is considered. That is, force is considered. Okay. That is the difference between that is kinematics and dynamics. Then what is rest? What is rest? An object is said to be at rest if it does not change its position with the passage of time. If it does not, an object is said to be at rest if it does not change its position with the passage of time. So what is motion? Motion. An object is said to be at motion if it changes its position with its surroundings in the passage with the passage of time. Okay, with the passage of time. So here in this chapter we are full and fully concentrate about that is motion. Okay. So there are three types of motion. That is one-dimensional motion, one-dimensional motion, two-dimensional motion and three-dimensional motion. Next, we are going to discuss about that is what is one-dimensional motion, what is two-dimensional motion, and three-dimensional motion. Consider the Cartesian coordinate system. Consider the Cartesian coordinate system, which consists of three axes, right? This is the z-axis, this is the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. This is the origin. Okay. A particle or object at this position. So at this position. So P is a particle at this position. How we can represent this? The position of this object, that is P of x, y, z, where x, y and z are the distances from the origin along the x-axis, y-axis and the z-axis respectively. Okay. So x is the distance in the x-axis. Okay. So this is the distance in the y-axis, that is y, and this is the distance in the z-axis. Okay. Then what is one-dimensional motion? One-dimensional motion. One-dimensional motion. An object is said to be at one-dimensional motion. One-dimensional motion, that is the any one of the coordinates. Out of these three coordinates, if any one of the coordinates changes with the passage of time. So one-dimensional motion is nothing but that is motion in a straight line. Motion in a straight line. Motion in a straight line. That is called one-dimensional motion. An object is said to be at one-dimensional motion means if any one of the coordinates out of these three coordinates, it may be a x-axis or y-axis or z-axis, changes with the passage of time. So one-dimensional motion is nothing but that is motion in a straight line. So example for one-dimensional motion, that is a train moving in a straight track. Train moving in a straight track. 2. A freely falling body. Freely falling body. Freely falling body. That is on a body is falling from a certain height under the action of gravity. So okay. So that is also considered as one-dimensional motion. Then what is two-dimensional motion? What is two-dimensional motion? An object is said to be at a two-dimensional motion if any two of the coordinates specifying the position of the object changes with the passage of time. So okay, two-dimensional motion. Two-dimensional motion means motion in a plane. One-dimensional motion means motion in a straight line. Two-dimensional motion means motion in a plane. So what is an example for two-dimensional motion? That is one projectile motion. projectile. All the projectile motions are example for two-dimensional motion. That is, both and x and y values are changing. Then two, a car moving in a zigzag manner. Okay, zigzag in a level road. In a same level road. Okay, that is also considered as a car moving not in the straight line. It is moving in a zigzag manner in the same level road. That is also considered as two-dimensional motion. So the next is three-dimensional motion. Three-dimensional motion. Three-dimensional motion. An object is said to be at a three-dimensional motion if all the coordinates, that is x, y and z, changes with the passage of time simultaneously. So that is called a three-dimensional motion. Three-dimensional motion means motion in the space. Motion in the space is called a three-dimensional motion. Okay. So what is an example for three-dimensional motion? One aeroplane moving in the sky. Two, a kite flying in the sky. So these are the examples for three-dimensional motion. So these are about different types of motion. So the next very important topic, that is distance. Distance and displacement. Distance and displacement. So first we are going to say, that is distance. The total path length traversed by the body from the initial point to the final point is called distance. A distance traveled by the body is called, that is the total path length traversed by the body from the initial point to the final point is called the distance. Okay, suppose this is the point A, B and C. An object starts from A and reaches the point C through B. So what is the distance traveled by the body? So distance equal to, that is AB plus BC. AB plus BC. That's why I told, that is the total path traversed by the body from the initial point to the final point is called the distance. Okay. Characteristics of distance. Characteristics. First point, it is a scalar quantity. So we will discuss about, that is the vectors and scalars in very detail in the next chapter. So okay, for the time being, you just understand that is, in physics there are two types of quantities, that is scalar quantities and vector quantities. Scalar quantities means it have only magnitude, no direction. So the vector quantities means both magnitude and direction. So here, so that is the distance is a scalar quantity. Scalar quantity means that is magnitude. Okay, magnitude, no direction. No direction. 2. Distance traveled by the body is either 0 or positive. Positive. So there is no negative distance. So we don't represent the distance as a negative quantity. Okay. So 0. That is, an object is at rest. It is not moving anywhere. That is, the distance is. So in this case, the distance traveled by the body is 0. So otherwise we will say that is the distance traveled by the body is plus 5 meter, plus 20 meter. Okay, like that we will do. That's why I told, that is the distance may be 0 or positive. Then 3, SI unit of distance, that is meter. 4th one, that is CGS unit, that is centimeter. So SI unit of distance is meter, CGS unit of distance is centimeter. So the different types of system of units and measurement, that is the first chapter. So we will cover all the chapters in physics and we will come back to the first chapter. Okay. So the first chapter we will discuss, that is the units and measurements. So with different system of units we will discuss in that chapter. Okay. So for the time being, that is SI unit is meter and the CGS unit is centimeter. Okay. So these are about distance. Next is displacement. Displacement. Very, very important quantity, that is displacement. So displacement is the shortest path from the initial point to the final point. In a journey, the shortest path from the initial point to the final point is called displacement. Or we can say the straight line path from the initial point to the final point is called displacement. So consider the previous case. That is this point A, this point B, this point C. Okay. An object is initially at the point A, finally it reaches the point C. So it travels through B. Okay. So what I told, that is in distance, that is the distance traveled by the body is equal to, that is AB plus BC. But the displacement, what is the definition? The shortest path between the initial point and the final point. Or otherwise, the straight line path between the initial point and the final point is called displacement. So displacement is equal to AC vector. AC vector. Then characteristics. Okay. The first point, it is a vector quantity. So the displacement has both magnitude and direction. Vector quantity means magnitude and direction. What is the meaning of that? That is displacement, distance we have to say, that is 5 centimeter. That's all. 5 centimeter. So displacement means 5 centimeter towards north. So we have to clearly mention the direction also. It is 5 centimeter towards north. That is called vector quantity. Okay. So 5 means magnitude and this is the direction. Then 2. Displacement may be 0, negative or positive. Displacement may be 0, negative or positive. That is the second characteristics of displacement. Okay. So I will explain how it is 0, that is negative or positive. Case 1. Case 1. This is the origin. The body is, this is origin. Initially the body is at A. Okay. So this is the distance x1. Okay. The body A travels to the point B. The point B, which is at a distance x2. Okay, x2. So what is the displacement of the body? This displacement is equal to the shortest path between the initial point and the final point. So displacement is equal to, that is x2 minus x1. Okay, the displacement traveled by the body. So this is the displacement. That is the shortest path between the point, that is initial point, and the final point. So how we will get, that is x2 minus x1, which is definitely greater than 0. Okay, greater than 0. So in this case the displacement is positive. Displacement is positive. Okay. Then case 2. This is the origin. Initially the body is at point A. Okay, A, which is at a distance x1. The body travels from A to B, which is at a distance x2. It's at a point x2. So in this case, what is the displacement? So displacement, that is displacement is equal to x2 minus x1. So which is less than 0, that is negative. Okay, negative. So the displacement in this case, that is negative. Then case 3. So this is the origin. Initially the body is at A, which is at a distance x1. The body travels from A to B and returns back. So finally the body is at A, which is also the distance, that is x2. So what is the displacement here? So displacement is equal to x2 minus x1. So which is equal to 0. Which is equal to 0. So in this way, that is, the displacement is 0, negative or positive. And third one, the SI unit is meter. Fourth one, CGS unit, that is centimeter. Okay, these are the points regarding the displacement. So some more conceptual questions, that is, is there any possibility of displacement greater than the distance traveled by the body? Never. Okay, so displacement always less than or equal to distance. Okay, it may be less than the distance or equal to the distance. It's never greater than the distance. It is a very important point. Okay, displacement less than or equal to distance. If the displacement, the second one, that is 2. If the displacement is 0, is it the distance necessarily be 0? My question is, if the displacement is equal to 0, then what about the distance? Is it necessarily be 0? That is, the distance also necessarily be 0? No. So how we can say that? So consider a circular motion. Okay, an object starts from this point and completes one complete revolution. So the displacement traveled by the body, displacement is equal to 0. But the displacement traveled by the body is 0 because the distance between the initial point and the final point is 0. That is, displacement is equal to 0. But the distance traveled by the body is equal to, suppose r is the radius of the circle. So that is 2 pi r. So here displacement is 0, but the distance traveled by the body is equal to 2 pi r. So we can't say that if the displacement is 0, we can't say that the distance is also equal to 0. Okay, that is also very important. So, with this, this session is over. So we discussed about the theory of rest and motion, what are the different types of motion, and what is distance and displacement. Okay, so in the next video we will meet with the problems regarding displacement and distance. Okay, so stay home, stay safe, don't go outside unnecessarily. So when you go outside, wear the mask always, make the social distance, and wash your hands frequently with the soap. Okay, thank you so much.